Hello world, it's Godzilla 4 with you, going live, yes, going live, officially. Hello world, hello everyone, Godzilla 4 with you, live, an impromptu live stream, random, a few things to talk about, but I'm going to give everybody a few minutes. Hi again, hello Sebastian, I believe you had come in earlier. I was doing a test. I apologize for anyone who came in to an earlier live stream that I was doing a test, so that was an accident. But this is official. Hopefully you guys can hear me all right. I'm doing this a little differently today. New software and everything, so this is like gonna be a bit of a practice for me using streaming software, which I'm totally new to, so I apologize. I'm just getting the hang of this. But I thought today, because of some stuff I really wanted to talk about, that I really wanted to like go over and read and discuss with you guys, that I thought it'd be better to do it this way instead of just me with my phone filming myself talking. So that's why I'm doing it this way, why we're gonna enjoy it this way. So I'm just gonna give everybody a few minutes to file in, but yeah, I know. How y'all doing today? Having a good Saturday? I can't see you, but I can hear you. Yes, you won't be seeing me today, Sebastian, but you will be hearing me. It's gonna be a little different today. So, a little different format and everything. And then to all the folks watching this, not live, but in the future, when you're rewatching this on YouTube or watching this for the first time, when it's not live, you could just put this in the background and just listen in, or you can. I mean, I'm mainly going to be looking at articles. You can read, you can read along as well. But no, nothing really to see so much as to hear. So that's the way it's going to be going down. Like I said, I always like to give people a little bit of time to file in, but if not, we'll get to it. So I'm just, like I said, I want to keep my eye on the chat. So, but I also want to go back and read. So I apologize if I'm not always on the chat because I'll be looking at these articles. But let's get into it. Let's get into it. So here we go. Let's see if I can make this work. So hopefully, again, new to this. Hopefully, we're all seeing that. Not sure if it's changing. Maybe it's a bit delayed, but let's see if it changes, please. I'm checking my own. No, it's not changing. Well, hopefully you guys can see it. We've got a IGN article up here. Ah, there we go. Here we go. Sorry, I don't know if it's a delay or not, but it took a few seconds for the article to change. Sebastian says, man, Godzilla King of the Monsters is coming out in 2 weeks and 6 days, aka 20 days. Exactly, and so that's why I want to go over some of the first reactions that we got here. This is from IGN. Regardless of what you think of them, I think they probably got some decent stuff. But apparently, from what it said, is the members of the press who were able to go to the premiere, and the response has been very positive. Many claiming that this is the Godzilla film they've always wanted, a perfect summer movie of epic proportions. So I guess we can kind of go through these tweets and see what they say. So hopefully, it's kind of delayed, I think. Or maybe there's a delay, but I'm going through it, so I apologize. I'm getting used to this, so between what YouTube shows me and then what I'm looking at, there's a few seconds delay, so I apologize if I seem off. But I'm just going to go start reading through the tweets, and then we'll see. So we got Terry Schwartz here. I'm not sure who she is, but someone who is not by any means a Godzilla expert. This will be remedied, I swear. I was lucky enough to see Godzilla in Tokyo a couple weeks ago. If you're looking for some kaiju and kaiju action, you won't be disappointed. Great news all around. The movie promises a showdown between Godzilla and King Ghidorah, and it absolutely delivers over and over again. Though there are humans in the story to help move the plot along, they are rightfully there to support the greater conflict at play. The special effects are bonkers, and I really like how director Mike Dougherty plays with scale. After the criticism leveled at 2014 Godzilla, all in all, the type of monster versus monster brawler you'd hope for, a movie called Godzilla King of the Monsters, and a poster like this. Yeah, so it looks like, just from reading that, it's definitely going to be a monster movie with lots of monster on monster action, which is what I think most of us wanted to see. And I'm jumping ahead. I'll leave it on this. But what's cool is we're getting a commentary from someone who's not a Godzilla expert. So maybe she's a fan, but maybe not a big fan like some of us are. But that's still cool that she says it was pretty promising, and she definitely says that it delivers on what it's supposed to, and that is a giant monster movie with them fighting each other. There are humans to help move the plot along, but they're just there to move it along. They're not there to get in the way or drag the story or anything. It's about the monsters. So, hey, Assassinzilla says, hey man, how you doing? Or person, sorry, didn't mean to assume. Hi, how you doing? We're just going through these tweets. So, I'm feeling good already, but, we'll wait, we'll see. Let's move on to Steven Weintraub again. Not sure who he is. I guess he works with, he's a writer for Collider. I think that's a magazine, or a website. Had real issues with Godzilla 2014. The movie was called Godzilla. He was barely in it. Thankfully, King of the Monsters is awesome. It's everything I wanted last movie to be, but it wasn't. If you want to see Godzilla fighting other monsters, you will be happy. Also, the visual effects are insane. I'm so impressed with what they did with the material monster battles and can't wait to see it again. If you weren't looking forward to it, now it's time to go buy tickets. I don't want to get started on Godzilla 2014 by any means, but I just want to say that that's good news that we're not going to have to, worry too much about, is Godzilla going to show up? Waiting on Godzilla to show up. So I feel like we are getting the Godzilla movie we want. And that's kind of cool that he was like feeling a certain way about it. And he felt like this film really was the Godzilla movie he wanted to see in 2014. And, like I said, this isn't about Godzilla 2014. We could talk about that movie. That movie will be divisive among fans probably for a very long time. But that's cool. For someone who, like I said, had issues with Godzilla 2014, they actually like this one more. That's a good sign, especially for us fans who expected more out of that film. But also, at the last sentence, if you want to see Godzilla fighting other monsters, you will be happy. I mean, exactly. So that's what we're here to see. Let's see. Sebastian has a question. Is this Godzilla the last Godzilla ever? And no, I hope not. I mean, he's going to show up in Godzilla vs. Kong. But no, I hope not. I think there will be more. So, but yeah, hopefully I'm sounding okay, like I said. Moving on. So, Dan Casey, he works at Nerdist. So let's see his commentary. Godzilla King of the Monster rules so goddamn hard. The most fun I've had in theaters all year, and the best MonsterVerse entry yet. The scale is mind-boggling, and every action scene could be your new desktop wallpaper. See it on the biggest screen possible. Let me share an anecdote about that I actually saw Godzilla 2014 in IMAX. So that was pretty neat. So I do recommend it. Don't have to see in 3D probably, but in IMAX or like a big screen if you can afford it. Definitely go do it because this is a colossal movie from what it sounds like. Eric Davis, who works at Fandango, wrote this tweet. Fandango, if you guys don't know, is like a horror sci-fi movie magazine. I used to read a lot back in the day. I don't know if they're in print anymore. They used to be. I used to read them a lot growing up. So he writes, King of the Monsters ups the monster action considerably. The battle scenes are gorgeous and fierce and feel ripped from the pages of a gnarly graphic novel. You want a giant monster movie throwdown? This is it, and then some. Can't wait for that Godzilla vs. Kong movie now. I'm very excited that he mentioned Godzilla vs. Kong, because if people are pumped for this, imagine Godzilla vs. Kong, imagine how that's going to be. I'm also excited because we don't know anything about that movie yet. We don't know how Godzilla King of the Monsters is going to end and go back. It's going to end and this then connect to Godzilla vs. Kong. So there's so many directions they could go. We have no idea yet. Let's see. Megan Peters writes at comicbook.com. Godzilla is the film I've waited years for. The thrilling sequel captures the spirit of Japan's famous kaiju while setting up his reign for years to come. There are few words which describe the film as momentous, and its epic scale will leave audiences astounded. Honestly, Godzilla is breathtaking. If you aren't with the MonsterVerse and its kaiju revolution, this film would change your mind. Damn, that's actually pretty cool. And I'm glad they're also referencing the MonsterVerse. So, I don't know. Let's see, checking the chat again. Assassinzilla, did you hear about the deal between Toho and Hollywood? I think I'm somewhat familiar with it. I think it was something along the lines of like, Toho will let Legendary keep making movies if this one does well and if Godzilla vs. Kong does well, right? Something like that, I believe, is what the deal entails. And that Toho is interested in seeing the MonsterVerse continue if it makes money. Paul Shirley works at JoBlo.com, which I'm not that familiar with. I think it's like a movie website. He says, King of the Monsters is the modern-day Godzilla movie you've been waiting for. It's everything 2014 Godzilla isn't, while still retaining the best elements of that film and elevating them 100 times. Monsters action that rattles the theater so damn good. Then he said, there's so much passion for the creatures in this film, and the camera lingers gloriously on all of them. This is a monster movie that fires on all cylinders, and I can't wait to see it again. Pure summer movie fun. We'll have a full review. It gets right what the other modern-day Godzilla movies got wrong, in my opinion, finally, of course. So we're getting a few people kind of like saying, hey, this is the film that Godzilla 2014 should have been. And, okay, like I said, Godzilla 2014 was the first, movie. I mean, think about the first Iron Man movie, right? And then look at Avengers. I mean, yeah, there's no way you could do what they did in Avengers, Infinity War, what they did in the first Iron Man movie. It took 10 years to get there. So, with King of the Monsters, it took us 5 years to get here. It took Godzilla 2014. It took Kong Skull Island. Now that we're finally getting here, this stuff does take time. So I think I knew that when Godzilla 2014 was coming out. I told myself, look, if it's not the best Godzilla movie ever, hopefully it does well enough, we get a sequel, and the sequel is the Godzilla movie we all really want. David Crow at Den of Geek said he loved the film. He says, I'm now free to say Godzilla King of the Monsters is handedly the craziest, most entertaining American kaiju movie in existence, but that doesn't do justice to just how wild a ride this is. This movie is a weird hybrid of worshipful adoration of Godzilla, Ghidorah, and the camp and glee of Fight Night. Godzilla movie 2 generally works and needs to be seen on a monster-sized screen. Also, Mothra fans, keep a sharp eye out during her waterfall reveal. Bit of a spoiler, but still interesting. Doesn't tell us that much. But, yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that the good news is the monsters are going to get love. It does seem like they're going to be the main stars of the show, whereas other monster movies, maybe Godzilla 2014, it was the actors, with the monsters more in the background, maybe Godzilla. That depends on your opinion. He did say this is the best American kaiju film, so that would mean it's better than Pacific Rim, which I'm sure may upset some people. Some people really love that movie. But I personally, I think maybe this film might be, I'm going to say it right now, and this might be unpopular opinion, but I like Kong Skull Island maybe a bit more than Pacific Rim 1. And if you've seen my review for Pacific Rim 2, you'd realize I had a lot of problems with that movie. So honestly, this film might blow Pacific Rim out of the water. Which is, hey, look, it's not a bad thing because Pacific Rim came out like, at this point, 6 years ago? So like, we wouldn't be here without a movie like Pacific Rim, right? You know, like I keep saying, you know, these things take time, they take evolution, because these movie studios don't make these kind of movies because they want to. They make them because they think they're going to make money. And, you know, like the Marvel movies they make today, they would have never made these kind of movies 10 years ago. They never would have made an Endgame or an Infinity War. Civil War almost didn't get made the way it was. You know, Civil War wasn't going to have Tony Stark show up so much in it, right? And it took Kevin Feige kind of telling Disney, like, look, I know he's expensive, but I want more Tony Stark in this movie. And it made the movie amazing, right? It was worth it. And so I'm saying, like, the kind of crazy movies we get today with Marvel and Star Wars, we wouldn't get these kind of movies 10 years ago. So it takes time, and that's the thing. That's why now we're finally getting this movie. Let's see. Checking the chat. Do you think Toho will make Godzilla vs. Gamera to compete against Godzilla vs. Kong? I think that would be really silly of them. I think I think Toho should maybe make like a deal to have it. I don't know, but I would rather see Gamera show up in the MonsterVerse than in a separate film. Though I do see Toho, that would be their one thing they could do. If to compete against Legendary, if they were going to do their own Godzilla cinematic universe, would be to make Godzilla vs. Gamera, because maybe Legendary can't get the rights to Gamera. So that is something they could do, but I think it's kind of like shooting yourself in your own foot. Why are you competing with them to make a better Godzilla movie? Like, don't get me wrong, I really like Shin Godzilla. But Shin Godzilla was so different, so its own universe, it worked. It was a solo Godzilla film. It was a radically different Godzilla. It worked as a solo Godzilla film. And so I think Toho should do stuff that like Legendary isn't interested in doing. You know, I think Toho should be making remakes, reboots of their old IPs, but not necessarily Godzilla. I mean, they have so much stuff. I think they could make an amazing Atragon remake. They could do War of the Gargantuas. You know, they could do all the Mysterians. They could do. They have like H-Man. What's another classic that's not involving Godzilla? Godzilla's their main star, but they still have other monsters and other monster movies that they could do, and I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't, because probably Legendary, first of all, there's so many Toho monsters anyway, but Legendary isn't going to be interested in stuff like Gamera, or I apologize for Gamera fans, but or maybe even like no, the ones that aren't very famous, you know. You know, if Legendary is going to make more movies, they're going to do ones like Mechagodzilla for sure. You know, maybe Destroya. That's who the direct, you know, Gigan, stuff like that. So they're gonna definitely pick characters like that. But like, you know, maybe Space Godzilla, maybe Destroya. I think they're really cool. But other characters, I think they won't choose. And Toho can make movies with that. I think that would be really cool to see. Then Assassinzilla asks, what are your thoughts on the Ultraman anime? And I will be posting, I'll make more of a review, more in depth of the, you know, a couple episodes. And I haven't finished the first season yet anyway, but I really like it so far, actually. I like it so far. And we're going to actually talk about the Ultraman anime here in a bit. But I like it, and I like it a lot much more than the Godzilla anime movies, for sure. There's a lot of things they do that are really cool. Now, this is coming from someone who I've never seen the Ultraman TV show, but I enjoy it. So I can't speak as an Ultraman fan. I can speak as a Godzilla fan. So. All right, sorry. I'm back. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but my throat was dying. I had to give myself some water. Okay. But yeah, I really like the Ultraman anime so far. I haven't finished it, but I will be posting a review probably in chunks, the first 4 episodes and the second 5 through 8, and maybe the last couple episodes. And then, do you think Toho will make a 4th Godzilla anime movie due to the cliffhanger from Planet Eater? God, I hope not. No. I mean, I don't know how much money those movies really made. I know they weren't theatrically successful, but they were always meant to be more released on Netflix. So, but I really hope they don't, because I never want to watch those ever again. But anyway, let's see if this article, I'm not sure if they have anything else to say. It's kind of just what we read already. Yeah, this is a lot of the same stuff. But what I really wanted to go over now, apart from the movie reviews, and I'm about to give this guy a big shout out to Luis Duran. He got his hands on Godzilla Aftershock, so I know I'm a huge Luis Duran fanboy, but yeah, just because he got his hands on it, and so we can kind of see some of like the stuff in it. So, and by the way, spoilers, everyone who hasn't read the Aftershock. No, I haven't read it either, but you know, I don't have to now because he posted some photos of it. And this is a new bad guy or villain called the Muto Prime. And apparently it happens after Godzilla 2014, kind of setting up to Godzilla King of the Monsters, and it has Godzilla fighting the Muto Prime, and it turns out the male Mutos show up too. And apparently the male Mutos all come from all the Mutos come from the Muto Prime. So, and then he's got a bunch of different abilities apparently, and he can plant eggs and stuff like that. Wow, he actually managed to damage his dorsal plates even. So I think that's as much as he showed, but still really cool, I think. Let's see. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of read in on it, learn a bit more. So I'm not gonna try and spoil too much of it, but I just want to see how it kind of sets up, because I'm not sure I'm gonna get a chance to read it before King of the Monsters comes out. So just a brief overview of what it's about. Then Assassinzilla. Do you know about the Gamera 4 fan film? Yes, I do. I've never seen it, but I know it. Man, that came out like years ago. Years ago, right? Some guy like, he did like, it was a mixture of visual effects and suits. There was like a super Gauss in it or something. I've seen clips of it, but I never actually saw it. But that is one of the biggest kaiju cliffhangers of all time. You know, Infinity War ain't got nothing on the ending of Gamera 3, where he's like walking to the flames and he's gonna fight like a legion army of Gauss. And it just ended there. And it was like, what? And then Assassinzilla asks, do you wish Godzilla vs. the Wolfman would be released? Yes, I don't know what's going on with that. I used to follow these fan projects like a lot. You know, that one, Godzilla Heritage, there was like a documentary coming out, and they all kind of just disappeared. I stopped hearing about them. You know, they get so, I don't know what happens. They get bogged down in development or whatever. I think it had a Kickstarter too for Godzilla vs. the Wolfman, but I never heard anything about it. You know, Nicolas Cage took a picture with the poster. Maybe we'll look it up. Maybe we'll check on it here in a second. See whatever happened to Godzilla vs. the Wolfman, because I would like to see it, you know, because they filmed it and everything. I think they're just editing it. All right, now let's look at Aftershock, shall we? So, Godzilla Aftershock, continuing the story of 2014's Godzilla after the catastrophic events in San Francisco. The big lizard threatened as a terrifying new foe rises from the depths of the earth, unleashing earthquakes and driven by an unstoppable primal instinct that will test Godzilla like never before. Dr. Emma Russell, I think that's Vera Farmiga's character in the movie, races to stop the threat as clues emerge to reveal a terrible secret, a tragedy. A shadowy figure stalks Emma's every move as she travels the globe to uncover secrets, while Godzilla clashes in an ancient rivalry as old as the Earth itself. The fate of the world lies in the balance, in an epic confrontation that no Godzilla fan will want to miss. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if there's anything out yet. But, wow, okay. So there's no information on the actual, there's no plot out, shall I say. But, no, what I do know, or what I have read earlier, was that Godzilla hasn't been seen in 5 years in King of the Monsters. So does this take place in 2019 or in 2014? Or does that mean publicly not been seen in 5 years, but maybe secretly they've been keeping track of him the whole time? But it seems like this is a pretty epic battle, and so like maybe people would have heard about it, people would have seen it happening, right? I mean, I haven't read it, but like from what you saw in Luis Duran's pictures, I mean, it looks like a big epic battle. Also, how the hell did he get his hands on it? It wasn't supposed to come out until May 21st. So let's see if there's any other info. Just cover art, yeah. Yeah, that's true. There's not much else to say about it. Get your hands on it. But, let's see, I accept. And the other thing I wanted to check, speaking about the Ultraman show, I wanted to see what reviews said. We got a review. Hey, Collider, this is the website I was talking about. So Netflix's superhero series suits up for a new generation. This is by an article by Dave Trumbor, talking about Ultraman, the series, and it's not just a reboot, it's a continuation of it. That's a spoiler if you haven't read it, but yes, the new Ultraman anime is related to the original series, which is actually really well done. I like the way they did that. I don't know if I want to read too much because I haven't finished it. Oh, okay, there's a spoiler. I don't want to read that. See, I don't want to see exactly. I don't want to read this. But let's see what the positives are. Overall, Ultraman is a welcome addition to the canon, and though it may look and feel quite different from the original, it is a fitting series for the modern era. Check it out on Netflix. Now, hold on. How can you write a review article when you've only watched half the show? Like, I will review the first 4 episodes by themselves, or like, the second 4 episodes, or the last couple, but I'm not going to say the whole season was like that. I mean, you can't, that's like watching half a movie and then writing a review about it. I mean, you can't do that, I don't know. I mean, maybe, you can review individual episodes, but a show is much more holistic. You have to take it all together, all in one big concept. But, no, that's cool. So I have to finish it, and I will get a review out. But now, Assassinzilla, you got me wondering, you got me going, like, what ever happened to Godzilla versus the Wolfman? Whatever happened to this? You know what? We have the Godzilla fandom, the Gojipedia. I'm not sure. Should we trust Gojipedia or should we trust Wikizilla? Any thoughts, anyone? We would check Wikizilla. I don't know what the difference really is between the two. I know some people are going to be like, how dare you? Gojipedia is way better, or Wikizilla is way better. I'm just trying to get the facts, man. That's all I care about. Let's see, Wolfman versus Godzilla. Okay, so. Alright, let's see which one gives us more information. History. The film was directed by Chitsao Nakajima. didn't pronounce that right, probably. They were former filmmakers. Toho didn't even have anything to do with it. They didn't even approve of it, and so it became unreleased. He's made efforts to publicize the films. He's revealed several pieces of footage. He'd been working to splice the footage together. The film would come into DVD in summer 2016. So we've got a lot of cool pictures here. And then here's the most famous image, which is Nicolas Cage holding the Godzilla vs. the Wolfman poster. I don't know, we have this, but we don't have an actual movie. So that's what I'm like wondering, where is it? Let's see what Wikizilla says. This says almost the same thing. They have a plot, they have a gallery. I mean, honestly, neither one really explains. But it looks like the last time we heard about it was in 2016. So, like, come on, what's going on with this project? I want to see Godzilla vs. Wolfman. But I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I wish there was more to show. But yeah, so I'm not exactly sure, you know. These projects, they come and they go. And yeah. But it's all very exciting. Sorry, I'm just checking a few things now. That's why I kind of disappeared for a second. But anyway, I want to check the Wikipedia page just to see if there's any other facts. Let's see if let's just go to the reception, shall we? Film has received positive reactions. Hell yeah. Now we'll see if that translates to a good box office. That's the big thing. Right? Because, you know, truth of the matter is the film needs to do well so that we can get a sequel. In Gamera 4, Gamera fought an albino hypergauss. You know what you want? You got me checking that now. You got me checking that. Gamera 4 fan film. Whatever happened to Gamera? Let's see if we can find it. Gamera 4 fan film. Images. Yes. Yeah, I remember this. Oh yeah, this is it. You're right. That is an albino Gauss. See, 2003? Was it really 2003? Look at that suit. But like, it made like news and everything. I mean, so I guess it was approved by the guys who own it that, you know, they would let him make the fan film. Obviously, he couldn't make any money off of it. But like, I remember hearing about it back in the States. Maybe I watched it. I don't remember. It was years ago, though, man. Years ago. Why don't we check it out? Why don't we do let's see if this plays. Hopefully this plays right. I'm not even sure you're getting the audio. What is this? What is this nonsense? This is fake. And also, I can't hear anything. Alright, never mind. That was fake. Fake news. But whatever happened to Gamera? Any news? Let's see. Reboot. The proof of concept. There was the the way I did also a reaction to 4 years ago. They did that like Gamera proof of concept trailer, New York Comic Con. And then it went nowhere. So I don't know if anyone knows. That was the last thing we heard about Gamera. Okay. You know, that's so weird. And it makes me wonder, like, will we ever get a new Gamera film? I don't know. There is Godzilla vs. Gamera. We're just talking about the freaking page, but let's see. An unmade 2002 film. Okay, let's dig deep, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Let's dig deep because we're having this conversation anyway. So Assassinzilla says it was shown, Gamera 4 was shown at G-Fest in 2014. Well, buddy, I won in 2011, so I didn't get a chance to go then. So, Godzilla vs. Gamera, unmade 2002 film? I don't even know if I knew about this. Maybe that's what Assassinzilla was talking about. Kadokawa, who owns Gamera rights, approached Toho and offered to produce a Godzilla and Gamera crossover film. Toho, however, declined the offer. Interesting. They also battled in a live stage show, and then there was a feature in a Japanese magazine. What is this? This is just comments. We're not interested in comments. We want to see... I don't want to see the comments. Oh, here we go. I just want to see... Oh, I'm going to a Japanese blog now. I just want to see the picture. Oh, look at this. It's like, is that Varon and Ultraman? Or something? I don't know a lot of these monsters. So, then there's Godzilla and Gamera. Oh yeah, definitely. That's like the Hedra and Godzilla vs. Gigan suit, and that's 60s Gamera. Yeah, this is when Godzilla vs. Gigan came out. So it's got, I guess I'm assuming comparisons between the two of them. It would have been interesting to see a Showa era Godzilla vs. Gamera film, because you look at these two, the suits look hilarious. But I think it would have been pretty neat, honestly, to see them fight each other. Oh, this is like a montage image, I think, kind of attempting to splice them together, but it would have been pretty cool. I think that's every like G-fan, Kaiju fan's dream, is to see these two fight. Now that's fascinating that Toho rejected an offer to do a Godzilla vs. Gamera movie. I think that would have been a great moneymaker for them, so I'm wondering. And then, you know what, Assassinzilla, you were just saying there was a live show for Godzilla vs. Gamera suits. I think they got info on that. They got Godzilla and Gamera both previously battled in a live stage show in 1970. So he's right, there was a stage show. It was a one-act. It was co-created by Toho and Daiei, who owned Gamera at the time. Dude, that's freaking awesome. Like, how come we never got a movie? Though, let's see, this image is taken... Oh, well, it's not a very good image, but still, that's really fascinating. Man, when are we gonna get Godzilla vs. Gamera, guys? Like, but I want to see him show up in the MonsterVerse. You know what I mean? Like, you know, alongside King Kong. 2021. Oh, man. Let me see. I wonder if I could show you guys my concept. You know, if we're talking on the subject of Godzilla vs. Gamera, let me show you guys my Godzilla vs. Gamera fan poster. Why not? I made one a couple years ago. Just for fun. Because I was just trying to get excited for it. You know, I like to make fan poster concepts for movies I would like to see. So, you know, just a little fan treatment. Nothing too crazy. Hold on. Art. Let's see. I don't know if this shows up. No, it doesn't. Doesn't show up well at all. Give me a moment. Didn't realize it would get so cut off. Let's see if I can. So then if I can, yeah, much better. So yeah, this was my concept for a Godzilla vs. Gamera poster, just because I wanted something kind of really dramatic, and I used, like, I think a concept art for Godzilla 2000, and then the Nightmare Gamera, and this was more like a teaser poster. You know, that's why it says coming soon. It almost looks like a graphic novel to me, actually, because of the drawn art style. So yeah. But anyway, that was just a concept, so wrong thing. But anyway, so yeah, that was just me showing my, whatever. Not trying to brag or anything. Assassinzilla, what would be your thoughts on a Super Godzilla movie? Man, that's also bringing back memories because I used to have an SNES, and that was the first Godzilla game I had on that. And we all love Bagan. We all want to see Bagan in a movie. I mean, I think there's a lot you could do with it. I'm not sure where I just ended up. Funny enough, Super Godzilla is, I think they used he was the inspiration for Space Godzilla, I think. But, yeah, I think a Super Godzilla movie would be really cool. Let me know if you guys want a Super Godzilla movie fan trailer because I'm totally down. Because it's kind of silly, but like I said, you look at a movie like Infinity War or Endgame, and they wouldn't have been able to make a movie like that 10 years ago. I never imagined they would make a movie like Endgame 10 years ago. So, you know what I mean? Like, and I want to see a movie like Godzilla in Hell. I mean, if you can make Godzilla in Hell, you can make Super Godzilla, So, and Bagan is an awesome villain. Oh, okay. Not that, apparently. Not Gigan Godzilla. Bagan. Ooh. Bagan is a super awesome villain. Look at that artwork. I think that's, man, who is that? That's amazing artwork. Wow. That's really good. Who is that? Sportpedia 2? I don't know where I'm going. Where am I going? That's some great artwork. And then that's pretty funny. That's based off like the original concept of Bagan from the 80s. This is more like the version that was going to like fight Mothra in the 90s. Then this is the actual concept artwork that Toho created. But what are the true lost villains, right? That we never got to see. I guess it's a concept, And so I think this is an amazing opportunity to really bring him to life, It's time. I think it would work perfectly. Like, I know some fans say, "Oh, that's stupid, Bagan, who cares? They'll never come to life." But I think it would be pretty cool to see Bagan in a Godzilla film, among many things. But I think he would be, he could be, like people saying, "Oh, we need a Thanos." And I'm like, I've said before that I think Bagan could be like a Thanos of the Monsterverse, that he's super powered and he can control the monsters or something like that. I mean, I think that'd be super cool. And so they have to all team up to stop him. I think it'd be great. I think he's so powerful and huge, and he's got kind of a cool, I think his original concept was let's see what, he came out of the ground in Mongolia or something. Toho Kingdom Bagan. Why not? Unused character, sadly. Let's see, Toho Kingdom, whoa, what is that? That depends on the first version. Man, see, look how many movies he was considered for. Mothra. He was considered for the Rebirth of Mothra movies. Oh, this is, and I think this is version 2. Right. Then this is the second version. Right, Mothra versus Bagan. But, let's see. But I want to see some of the artwork. They used storyboards. I mean, let's, like, that looks pretty wild. I mean, that's kind of a lot of his concept now is a lot like that. That's the basic structure of what he looks like. And it would have been cool to see a standalone Mothra movie. I still want one, We did get the Rebirth of Mothra series, but it was kind of more for kids, It'd be cool to get an actual, a real standalone Mothra movie that's also aimed for adults. And then we've got like a Bagan model. that's like made in ZBrush. It's like a modern version, which I kind of dig. But he does look a little bit like, I don't know, a Digimon or something like that here. A little too cartoony. I like the other design a little better. No offense to the artist, though. I mean, he looks menacing and evil, but it's a little too cartoony for me. I like the other Bagan. Yeah. Oh man, they updated all of them. Wow. Concept evolution, Mothra vs. Bagan, Godzilla vs. Bagan. And then there's another Godzilla vs. Bagan. See, and then we have, oh man, Toho Kingdom needs to get their stuff organized. Here's the Bagan model. See, this is more like he looks like in Super Godzilla. I think that's basically what they based it off. Wow, they have the concept evolution. That's really cool, actually. They have all this. Wow, I didn't realize Toho Kingdom has all of this now. Yeah, there was a lot of ideas they came up with before they came up with Godzilla vs. Destroyer. But, yes, anyway. So, I don't know. I just want to see Bagan. You know, and so yeah, a Super Godzilla movie would be cool. And then Toho, will they make a Godzilla vs. Ghost Godzilla? I don't know about that. I think a Super Godzilla movie is much more realistic, or at least a movie featuring Bagan, much more realistic than Godzilla vs. Ghost Godzilla. I think what they could do, if they do something like Godzilla in Hell, or something more mystical, a spiritual film, maybe Godzilla sees the spirit ghost version of an ancestor of his and fights it. But I don't think just a Godzilla fighting a ghost Godzilla movie would really happen. But I've always liked the idea that like this would have worked better with like Godzilla 2002, that he was, you know, the original Godzilla was inside Mech Godzilla, and that was his dad or his father. So I always like the idea of Godzilla facing his father, which was the original Godzilla. But that doesn't really work in the MonsterVerse because it's a whole new origin. So it would have to be like, if we do the MonsterVerse, it would have to be Godzilla facing another version of Godzilla from the same species, but maybe that died and now is a spirit. But I don't know if that's like, at this point, it's kind of too weird and mystical for the franchise. I don't know if we're really there yet in terms of mysticism. You know, it's more like a movie like GMK, right? GMK definitely got more mystical for a Godzilla film, which you can do. There are films like that in the franchise. Mothra has some elements of that. King Caesar as well brought some more mystical elements, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that in the Godzilla franchise, but right now it's very much prehistoric and more like science, not super realistic, but more based on like prehistoric titans and stuff like that. I think magic would kind of have to come later. Is the MonsterVerse destroy monsters possible, or a remake of Final Wars? Absolutely, I think so. Now, it's not going to be the exact same as Final Wars was. I cannot spell today. Man, this is just me responding to Final Wats. But, you know, we're not going to get a remake of Godzilla Final Wars, but I do think that we could get something very similar. Like I said, Bagan is the main bad guy, or something, or an alien invasion maybe. Gigan could be brought in. That causes all the monsters to unite to fight his forces, his armies, or something like that. I think so. But you'd have to, you know, just bring in an opposing force that would cause all the monsters to rally together. Which is interesting to see where Godzilla vs. Kong is gonna like leave us. I keep saying like, where does that movie, you know, end? Because like, is the MonsterVerse gonna continue? I would say that like, man, I really want Gigan to show up, but I'm also a big fan of Monster X, who is definitely a very underrated character in my opinion, but he has such a cool design. And unfortunately, I never owned the figure of him, but I always wanted to. And I always thought he had a cool design, even though technically he's just like the first evolution of Kaiser Ghidorah. I almost consider him like a separate monster, really. So he's such a cool, like I said, unique design for a Godzilla monster. And it'd be really cool to see like him be remade today with like visual effects and CGI, because he looks very modern actually. And I think it'd be really cool to see him in a more, not obviously in a suit form, but more like in a cool CGI form, and to see what damage he could do against Godzilla. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see. Because we have to wait and see how well the MonsterVerse does. But also what I want to show you guys, Cinevana? No, that's not it. But there was a new theater head. So, yeah, I wonder if I can find it. Here it is. I'm not sure if you guys saw this, that the Cinerama. There we go. Some pretty cool marketing for the film. Godzilla's head is popping out of the Cinerama theater. So, at the Cinerama Dome, so they had it set up that his head is poking out. And then, I wonder if they have a picture at night that shows it a little better, but you can see, oh, here's a really good one. Once it renders in, I think that you can really see that there's like light shooting out of it and everything. So I think that's really cool that they did that. And I mean, it's definitely, they didn't do anything like that for Godzilla 2014. So that's super cool. And I didn't even realize that it was, I thought it was plastic or something like that, but it's actually, I think it's air. It's air cushion, whatever you call it. But I actually thought it was like plastic or something. So it looks really cool too. I did not expect that. Let's see. Assassinzilla just killing the chat today. Wow. You better give this video a like, man, because you're killing the chat today. Assassinzilla asks, what are your thoughts on the soundtrack for King of the Monsters? I actually have not listened to it yet. I want to be, I want to enjoy it in the movie, It's not the same because it's a movie soundtrack and it's meant to be heard in the movie, with the movie, so I don't know. I haven't really given it a listen to. And, I want to enjoy it fresh. I also haven't heard the Surge Tankian song either. In general, I just want to, hear the music for the first time with the visuals that I'm supposed to see it with. Then, later on, if I really like the movie, I really like the music, then I like to listen to it afterwards. And I know that, some of the Akira Ifuku's themes are featured in the film as well. But I kind of want to, like I said, just wait and see. And yeah, that's because I don't know. I liked the music for Godzilla 2014 as well. It's not really, it follows Ifuku's style. It's obviously not a remake of it or anything. It doesn't cover anything. But it felt like it would fit. And it's one of the best things about Godzilla 2014 is the music. I can complain about some things about the movie, but I can't really complain about the movie because the movie really features some good music that really fits the tone and style. And yeah, like I said, I can't complain about it. But yeah, but Sorry. I was just checking out some awesome Godzilla vs. Kong artwork, and I'm very excited to see that. Though I do think in this image, Kong is actually quite a bit smaller than Godzilla. But, and I also love this artwork too. Oh, here's the full version. Now, I mean, this could be the poster, and I would be cool with it. I don't know. This, I mean, that's so well made. To whoever made this, man, that blows my Godzilla vs. Gamera poster. I mean, this could be the official poster right here. Legendary. Just pay the artist for the rights to this and just use this, because this is already amazing and really sells the movie already. And I'm pumped for this movie. I know King of the Monsters comes out in like a month or less, depending on where you live. But man, this, I'm pumped. I'm pumped for this. But see, Assassinzilla killing it again with the questions. What are your thoughts on the Marshal design and roars for King of the Monsters? Well, I have to say I'm quite happy with them. You know, the roars. I haven't heard really any of them except like King Ghidorah's for brief moments in the trailer. I try to avoid the TV spots and the trailers and everything, but I can't complain because, and I've probably mentioned this already in a bunch of videos, and especially looking at the toys, but I really can't complain about King Ghidorah's design. They pretty much got him spot on. You know, he does look, maybe if I have to complain about anything, you know, he does look very, like, modern dragon. And what I mean by that is that he does look a bit like Smaug and the dragons from Game of Thrones. They all look the same. Whereas, like, the original King Ghidorah was very cool because he had, like, more of a, an Eastern style inspired appearance, like a Chinese dragon in the original design. And I thought that was really cool. I thought it made it really unique because, you know, obviously, it's more of appropriate to that style. And it's not like you see in a lot of American movies where the dragons kind of all look really the same. Whereas the original King Ghidorah had more of a unique look and appearance. He also had hair and everything. He had the famous snout, and then he had like the curved horns, which I really love. And he even had hair. Like I said, I think he was more inspired by like a Chinese dragon, more than like a generic Western-looking dragon. Let's see. Yeah, more of this, which I think would have been kind of really cool actually if they took inspiration from, you know, these kind of dragons to make. I mean, just take this guy and then give him 3 heads and wings, and it would have been amazing. But it is what it is, you know. It is what it is. I still think the design is really cool. I think they wanted to make something that would appeal to modern audiences, that makes them go, wow, that is a 3-headed dragon. But, you know, personally, yes, I wish it looked more like, you know, a Chinese dragon. But Rodan's design, on the other hand, I think is really cool. And I think he looks exactly like he should. I think it's interesting that he has feathers, but otherwise, you know, I can't really complain. I think he looks like Rodan, you know, and I don't really know what else I could say. It's weird that he has feathers, though, because it's like, or does he have feathers or scales, but they look like feathers. I'm not really sure how they came up with his concept. There's a part of me that wished he was more like a, you know, a pteranodon, more realistic, like a like a Jurassic Park style pteranodon type. You know, if you've seen some of these guys, you know, they look really cool, like they did in Jurassic Park 3, right? Let's see if I can find it. But I thought the pteranodons looked really cool in Jurassic Park 3, and really scary and menacing. So it would have been kind of cool if Rodan had been more based off a like an actual pteranodon. But here it looks like they tried to make him look more like a bird or an Archaeopteryx mix or something more generic. I'm not sure. They tried to make him look more like the original for sure. And of course, it's maybe also down to whatever Toho lets them do. But, you know, I think part of me would love for them to make them look more like what they're based off, which is, you know, the actual prehistoric reptiles. Pteranodon is not a dinosaur, it's a prehistoric flying reptile. Yeah, you know, I think there's a lot of cool flying reptiles, you know, that existed in the, you know, the prehistoric era. I mean, some of these guys were so fascinating looking and had such cool. I mean, if you've seen Walking with Dinosaurs, I mean, they didn't all just look like this, you know. They had like, you know, cool looking heads with these bumps and everything. So there's a lot of cool stuff they could have done. But, you know, I think they wanted a Rodan that people said, hey, that looks like Rodan. You know, he does look a little bit like, I just saw it right here. Where is it? I think that's Archaeopteryx, I think. He looks a little bit like this. I think yeah, right? A little bit. Just a little bit. No? A little bit. It looks more like an Archaeopteryx. Kind of weird blend metal scales thing. But I guess, you know, it works. He looks like Rodan. And let's see. Rodan. I apologize if there's any spoilers, by the way. But you can find this on the articles. Oh, yeah, we already looked at Rodan. What am I doing? Don't read that. Spoilers. Nobody read that. Nobody read that. Don't look at that. Hopefully nobody saw that. No spoilers. Anyway. Okay, don't read this because there's spoilers. But I just want to look at Mothra's design. And man, you can even see Mothra's head. Where's Mothra's head? Man, her or his head is so small. I'm not sure how Mothra's design, I think, has been controversial with everybody from the beginning. And I'm not sure, even myself, how I felt about it. But it's a unique take. You know, I like how it has like more butterfly wings. Now it's more like a weird mix between a wasp and a butterfly than like a moth, like Mothra originally was. You know, for me, I really like Rainbow Mothra. I know that sounds really funny, but I think one of the best one of my favorite Mothra designs is Rainbow Mothra. I really like his design. I think it's a he in the series. I think he looks really cool. I love the colors of his wings. I love his head design. I love these little. He looks like a moth here. That's to me is a Mothra. And I love the shape of the eyes, the wings. I used to have this toy. The Rainbow Mothra Bandai Creation. I used to have that toy. Maybe I still do, actually. Did I say I used to? I probably still do. What am I talking about? Yeah, I mean, the Rebirth of Mothra movies are not great, but damn if they didn't have awesome looking Mothra designs. Like, that is the best thing about those movies. Mothra looks so cool. Like, this is the armor Mothra. And like, what else? He's got like his super final form at the end. That looks amazing. He has his like underwater form. There's Mothra Leo, which is what it looks like. There's the underwater form. Dude, I mean, like, the movies were really cheesy and for kids, but the designs for Mothra were awesome, actually. They were really cool. And so I really would love to see some of these designs come back and see something more like this than, honestly, anything like this. Because Mothra, to me, should look like something like this. Represent a good character. I mean, okay, this is made for kids, this is made for adults, but still. Here it just looks like I don't know, just wings and a small wasp-looking body. Maybe Mothra will get a little bit of a design change in the future. We'll have to see. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I apologize, everyone. This was kind of a ramble, a little bit of a ramble. Went from, but I think that's how all these live streams are. I'm just kind of, it's more about interacting with you guys, and you know, I don't really want to look into any spoilers, and I don't want to really spoil anything from anyone for you guys. That's kind of why I decide not to share too much, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna say much more at this point. But Assassinzilla, he is, man, you get the award today for most comments because you're or in the chat, in the comments. Google Thanos and click on his gauntlet. Oh, I've done that before. It makes the whole thing disappear. But let's see. I guess, let's see. I'm trying to find one last article, but not about the critical reviews. Let's see if I can find. Predictions. Let's see, the last thing is not predictions, projected box office. Okay. The one last article I wanted to show. God damn it. Variety, don't put your ads on my live stream. Box office. Oh my god. May smash 50 million plus in debut. Should smash at least 50 million plus. And ladies and gentlemen, this means in North America. This does not mean worldwide. Very different. King of the Monsters is the third film. So, though funny enough, Kong Skull Island opened with less than Godzilla 2014, but worldwide it actually made more than Godzilla 2014. So, very, very cool news. I do think. Oh, what was that article? Okay, that has nothing to do with. That's a different thing. 50 million plus in debut. I mean, that's pretty good. In the North American, that doesn't mean worldwide. Worldwide can be way bigger. So, ladies and gentlemen, I guess the big point with this, I'm trying to show you guys, is go out there, go see the movie. You know, tell your friends to go see it. Tell your family to go see it. Tell people you barely know. Tell your neighbors. Tell your strangers. Tell your friends at school, maybe even the people you don't like. Tell them, go see Godzilla, because this could be the Godzilla movie we all really want. And if this movie does well, it means that, you know, they can keep making more movies just like this, and this is the movies that we want to see anyway. And then if Godzilla vs. Kong does really well, we can continue and grow a franchise and get spin-off movies that we all really want, and we can get our, you know, Destroy All Monsters movies and everything. But it has to happen here, folks. It has to get out there, you know. I'm going to go back to Marvel, but they're a great example, you know. It was because the early movies made enough money that they could keep going, and that Disney believed in what kind of movies Marvel could make, that we got Avengers, we got Age of Ultron, we got Civil War, we got Black Panther, we got Spider-Man Homecoming and Infinity War and Endgame, you know what I mean? We're getting all these movies. It's because, you know, they did well and the studio believed in it. So hopefully Legendary believes in this, Warner Brothers believes in this, and we'll have to see. But, you know, support the king, get it out there, you know? Get people to go out there and see it. And convert them to our religion, basically, as I feel like is what it is sometimes. We are in a religion of Godzilla. But why not? Let's convert them, because we want more movies like this, I think. I think we do. Everyone tells me they do. So yeah. So I think I'm gonna wrap this up. Let's see any last comments in the chat. Assassinzilla, I think it's just you, man. Ghidorah, I'm the strongest Godzilla villain ever. Began, hold my beer, destroy guys. I mean, technically, Mechagodzilla 2 did kill Godzilla by destroying his second brain. So you could, no, I don't know. The strongest Godzilla villain depends on which version of King Ghidorah you're talking about, because the 2002 King Ghidorah wasn't as strong as other versions. So it depends on which incarnation we're talking about. But anyway, well, thank you, Mr. Zilla. Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you for everyone else who's been watching, following along. I appreciate the likes and all that. And I appreciate you guys just hanging out with me for a little bit while I ramble on. It was a rambly one, but title, Impromptu live stream. I really just wanted to go over those first reviews. We're heading into it, guys. This is it. Last 2 weeks, 20 days. It's crazy. It went by so fast. So let's keep the excitement going. Let's keep the energy going. Also, remember that Comic-Con is in July, so that Godzilla vs. Kong trailer is not far away at all. So keep the excitement and energy going. You know, get ready. And the next, I mean, it doesn't stop, man. That's crazy. And if it does successful, man, this could keep going for a long time. So anyway, finishing it up here, and I'm always bad at, oh my goodness, again. And also, I apologize for all the technical difficulties. I'm still learning how to use this streaming software. Hopefully, it was okay, and it went well, and you were all very entertained. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna sign out. I need to get better at this, but I hope you enjoyed this, and see you guys in the next video. Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz as usual, and let me know if you're watching this not live now. Let me know your thoughts on the reviews. Are you feeling better about Godzilla King of the Monsters? Are you worried? Or are you feeling maybe it's too hyped? You know, we'll just have to see when it comes out, I guess. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Bye!